Friday night. Just signing in and seeing if it pops up on the right page after a mistake before, and then usually takes Facebook a little while to update and post out there that I actually went live. In case anyone's not paying attention, that I do it at 8 o'clock each night. Okay, so last night I waxed this board, and in order to be able to do this one for my front porch. And this is the pallet board, the 12 by 18. This is the C-size transfer welcome to our porch, which is also 12 by 18. So I'm going to fuzz up the transfer. I'm going to use chalk on it. And honestly, with the chalk, I probably will be able to take it off if I want. In case everyone wants to change the color. But this pretty much matches the colors out my front porch. It's like an baby blue kind of coloring and like a light gray, like a light grayish blue. And the floor is pretty much the same color too, so it should match perfectly. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right into it. And, start by fuzzing up my transfer. And like I said, you can either peel it off the backing, but if you're worried about it sticking to itself, like this on the sticky side, then I'll show you a different way that you can also do it. And yeah, okay, so my video is now up. There we go. Okay. So you can, usually I just peel it off because I'm used to doing it. I wouldn't recommend a C-size transfer for somebody that's new. Start with A size and work your way up as the bigger the letter. They get bigger sizes as you go up in the alphabet. So you can go like that, but some people will go like this. So they will, see how it's sticking out itself. I can do a good example on now what not to do. So what they will do is pull it like this, stick some of it on the towel, and then pull the rest of it off just to make it a little bit easier. You can do it either way, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm just going to set this to the side. I did pull out a bunch of different projects tonight. The very last thing that I'll do is finish the other side of my lamp with the French Country big transfer. I'm going to wait to the end because I want to clean it quickly afterwards. So I don't want to start off with it and then have the ink sit on it for a while before I can take it into the bathroom to wash because it's a huge transfer. Since this is a new transfer that I've never used before, probably going to fuzz it like a good 5 times. I can still feel it's still really sticky. And just fuzz it, just by doing this on a towel or a t-shirt or sweatshirt or something, it's just picking a little bit of lint off of the towel, which kind of makes this feel not so sticky. But then once I clean it at the end, it's going to get stickiness right back. And I'll just do it one more time just to be safe. Don't want it to be too sticky, especially on wood. Because if it is too sticky on wood, what will happen is you'll end up, when you pull your transfer up, pulling some of the wood, or this one is actually painted wood, so it might pull the paint up as well, and that you don't want to do. So see how it's like, I can still pick it up, so that means it's a good stickiness. So I'll be able to smooth it down. And I'm just trying to get it pretty even. It's a pallet board that goes this way, so I can see the slats in it. And I'm going to use paste. So hopefully it'll turn out good. Let's see. Hi, anyone who's out there. Hey, Melissa. If you're out there, go ahead and hit like or comment or share a GIF or something. It's Friday night. It's the weekend. It's supposed to warm up after this, so okay. I was just gonna go with my shadow shimmer for my front porch, because I think once that dries, I'm probably gonna add some embellishments around the outside, like either some leaves or flowers or something, or hearts, different things, just to dress it up, because it is a little plain. I mean, it's got the letters, but you can really dress up the background. And here's my little shimmer shadow. I'll stir it up with the stick, but I really don't need to, because the shimmers are like the new paste formula, and they're just really creamy to start with. And I'm gonna use my larger squeegee. It's actually called a small. This is small and the mini. The mini will take longer, and I want to get it on there quicker because I want to be able to peel it off. I'm only going to be using the one color, so I want to be able to get it on. This just speeds up the process. If you have both and you try it, you'll see how quickly this will go on with a bigger one. And I'm not going to cover the entire thing. I'm only going to cover the letter with the areas where the lettering is. And I'm just going to put it on and then squeegee. Well, this is my squeegee off any excess. Got it on there. So when I put it on, as you can see, you couldn't really see the letters. And now as I'm squeegeeing off the excess paste, you can see them. And the shimmers, for those who don't remember, have glitter into it. It's really fine glitter, so it really makes things sparkle, which I like. I also have the shimmer frost that I used earlier at lunchtime. Since I'm home, working from home today, I needed a break and distraction. I did that. And I used the shimmer frost on one of the signs that's up there. And after work, I did my wall so I could kind of display them better on this wall, because I had the other wall that I moved my desk and the living room all around, and it's just a big mess. My house will never be completely finished. I figured that out. I'm always going to be changing things, but I mean, even when I was a kid, I was always changing things, so I would ask my mom what she wanted me to rearrange, and she doesn't like to do that, so it worked out perfectly. So I'm just doing this, I'm doing this pretty quick. I could stop and pull it up, but since I'm doing it all in the one color, it should go on pretty quickly. I'll just watch it when I pull it up to make sure that the paste at the top hasn't started to dry. So it really is that quick and easy. All right, I'm gonna start to pull up from the top. And I'm just looking over it so I can see as I'm pulling it up. Make sure I push down hard enough on all the letters. Ah, awesome. All right, now this is kind of too big for my water basin, but I'm gonna try to stick it in there a little bit. Being that I didn't use all the outside. That's not so bad. Alright, so where's my towel? Alright, so I like that. And it's got a little, I don't know if you can see the little bit of shimmer to it or not. You can see it from this angle. So that took me like, I don't know, from the time I started this video, it's been 7 minutes. So it was really quick and easy. And I've got a nice big sign. There is one little thing around the L, so once it dries, I'll use my little detail tool to touch that up. And then the little E has like a little bump at the top, which I'll easily touch that up. And then after it dries, I'll decide if I want to put like some leaves or something around the edge, go through my transfers and see what I have for embellishments. Otherwise, I could probably hot glue some stuff around the outside too. Probably do that. All right, I'm just gonna set this to the side so it can dry a bit without me sticking my fingers in it. Let's see if I can balance it up here. That will be fine as long as Alice doesn't jump up there like she did the other night. I noticed the other night she was behind me the entire time. At the end, just staring. So, all right. So I'm gonna tuck my squeegee in there, my stir stick, and seal this back up. The shimmers you don't really need to spray water in with the old paste formula like you do the others. Okay. It's time to get out my wipes. I was being really messy last night. It's getting stuff all over everything. It's a good thing I didn't play with the ink, but I'm about to get the ink out. There we go. There we go. All right. My desk is all cleaned up and I'm good to go. So, got that drying back there. I pulled out 2 things to use ink on other than finishing my lampshade, which I'm going to do last. I've got a shirt. So I've got a short one to transfer, I've got, this is the little cloth mask I was talking about. It's like this. It's a light pink color. So I'm going to pick out little transfers on that one. I got a little one of the coffee thing that I think I want to use. And I even got some coasters to play with. But since I haven't done a shirt yet, I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to go for the shirt. All right, so I'm going to do the Wife Mom Boss on this red like tank. And I don't have my ink mat yet, so I'm going to use my Cricut mat, which is also sticky, because I want it to hold the shirt in place so that the cloth doesn't move around while I'm putting the ink on. So this is the stronger grip one, so it should work. I'll put it back in the bag afterwards. Okay. So if you've never seen or used a Cricut mat, they have different stickiness. This is a strong stick. I kind of like felt them in the light thick is something more for like construction paper and stuff. But it has a clear cover on it, so you take it off and then you put it back on to protect it afterwards. I'm just going to take this one off. Here. And take my shirt out. Oh, anybody that tuned in at lunchtime when I was playing around, I did get the chalk pens working. I was just overthinking it. It's a lot easier than I made it out to be. I was kind of like hammering them down on the table, which I didn't need to do. Okay, so actually I'm going to stick the mat inside the shirt because I don't want the ink going through to the other side. This should be interesting. See if the shirt can fit. And because it's like hard plastic on the other side, it's not going to go through to the other side of the shirt. So, all right. Okay, so I can move this up some. Whoops. Get up in there. All right. Trying to get it lined up in the right spot where I want the transfer to be pretty even on the shirt. And smooth out the shirt. I'm just pulling the shirt across to try to get out any creases that are on it. There's still some in the middle there though. Slide you over. Similar to when I smoothed down the transfer. Okay, hey everybody out there, go ahead and hit like if you're out there. I can see people out there, I just can't see who is. But you can say hi and give me someone to talk to. Alright, so this is one of the new, well, I can't remember if this is the last chance one or not. It is a pretty popular one. It sold out and they brought it back. The Wife Mom Boss. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right here in the middle of the shirt. I don't want to start down too low. I think that'll be good, hopefully. Right. Because it's material, I'm not going to fuzz it at all. I want it to be as sticky as possible. And try to line it up with the neck, hopefully. And just smooth it down. I think I'm going to do this in white. The t-shirt's got like, it's red, but it's got like heathering in it, so it's got like a little white a little bit through it to give it like a little, you know, heathering-ish kind of look. Smooth it down really good. And I've got my ink up here. I rearranged a little earlier and put a shelf up once I got done work today because I needed to get I needed more room on my desk. It was getting cluttered up again. And I'm going to use my stir stick just because a little bit in the top got over here. I'm going to grab this out of here. pop it down into the jar. That just makes it easier from the lids going on and off. I haven't used the white before. I've opened it just to check it out and stuff, but I haven't actually used it on anything. All right. I think I've used it on anything. But I mean, it pretty much, you see that? It just looks pretty much, whoa. Pretty much looks like Cool Whip, and I just got it on my shirt. That's what happens when I talk. Oh boy. Okay. It's coming right off though. Thank God. What's underneath? Yeah, I need another clean Clorox wipe. Because the ink is permanent. This is just an old shirt, so I'm not worried about it, but if you do get something on it, you have to get it off right away. Right. Hopefully I didn't get any place else that I didn't see. Got a little bit on the transfer. All right, so be more careful than I am. All right, now, seriously gonna get my squeegee out and start on the shirt. All right, didn't fuzz it. Want to make sure you don't have any air bubbles in there. And you want to go in one direction. By going in one, if you go up and down and then side to side, you're really messing with it, and you could get bleeding where the lines aren't gonna look as great. And unlike the chalk that you can, you know, erase it or touch it up with the detail tool, you can't do that with the ink. Once the ink's on there, it's on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down. And I'm being very generous with the ink. Ink is just like paste, where you can take the excess off and put it on the back in the jar. Sorry, sometimes I forget that I'm doing this live and I get focused on it and I stop talking. Melissa says that the ink will come right out if you wash it right when you're done while it's still wet. So keep that in mind. If you do the ink and you do something that you decide you want out, wash it right away. And I'm going to say hope for the best. Because remember, the ink is permanent, so it's not guaranteed to come off. All right. Now I don't know if the ink's going to sink in and, you know, to the material. Because I can still see like the red underneath, so I'm just going to put a little bit more on. Ink stays wetter longer than chalk paste, so you've got more time to play with it. Unlike I was kind of rushing with my board before, because I didn't want the top to start to dry before the bottom. But with the ink paste, with the ink, when you're putting that on, that stays wetter longer. So you have more time to do things. Because you can't really pull it up and let it dry and then go to the next section. Ink it just doesn't work the same way as the paste. So got all this. All right, now let's see if I can pull it up. Oh, check your fingers first. Make sure you don't have ink on them. Okay. All right, so I'm going to try to pull it up, and I'm going to try to pull it from the middle, nice and evenly. And it worked. Okay, I'm going to try to set this in here on top of the other one. Hopefully they don't stick together. All right, I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see it. Just going to get the ink out of my way. So last night I kept sticking my fingers in the paste, so I don't want to do that with the ink. Okay. So here we go. What do you think? Looks good? I like it. Looks good to me. I'm gonna take it off the sticky part to dry. I'm gonna attempt to. Without folding the shirt over itself, because the ink is going to be wet for a while. To heat set this, it's get an iron for 4 minutes on each side. So parchment paper, yeah, I'm going to let that sit on there a little while until it dries a little bit. I'm just going to probably pull it up from the Cricut mat. Oh, maybe I can get it out now if I get my hand in there. Okay, so it got on my Cricut mat, not a huge deal. I'll try to wipe it off. But there's my shirt. So if anybody wants a women's medium tank top, let me know. It says Wife Mom Boss on it in white ink. And I'll heat set it tomorrow. So it says usually to let a good 24 hours to let it dry. So I'm just going to set it over here on the side, somewhere the cats can't reach it. And then I'm just going to take the Clorox wipe and go over the Cricut mat and see if it takes up the ink that's on it. I'm just taking it up some. It's either taking it up some or smearing it. My hand's sticking to it. Now, the ink mat is designed, it's thicker. It's meant to be able to, you know, clean it up and put clothing and stuff on. So Cricut mat is more for cutting with the Cricut machine, but it worked. It did what I needed it to do, which was to keep the shirt flat while I was putting the ink and stuff on. All right, I'm going to get out another Clorox wipe just for the preparation. This seems to be one of those. That's how this week is ending for me. Okay. All right, take a drink. All right, so I have these, I have like 10 of these. And I have more on the way because there was a super good deal at the Beware place where I'm buying the different textiles from. And I'm going to put it down on the mat because I want it to be flat when I do it. And this is the extra sticky mat, so. But as you know, masks are designed to be more rounded for our faces. So we'll see. See how it goes. And I was actually going to put with the But First coffee on it. First coffee. I love that little coffee cup. It looks so cute. But I do have some in this coffee one. Let's see. Well, Melissa, message me what size you are because I've got other sizes of stuff. T-shirts, sweatshirts, baseball kind of shirts. So if somebody's looking for something, they just want to see the design on it, let me know because I can do it. Because if you don't want it, somebody else probably will. So this is just like, I kind of like this one. So this was the coffee one where it's, the transfer has a day without coffee is like, and then it's got just kidding, I have no idea. But I think the just kidding, I have no idea would look cute on it. And with this little coffee cup, so I'm gonna put tape on there and just do the coffee cup because I love that coffee cup, it's so pretty. There's also this coffee cup. I don't know, I think that's gonna be a little too big for the mask. I want something smaller. Okay, I'm not going to fuzz them because I want them to be as sticky as possible. I'm going to do a little off center. So the just kidding, I have no idea. Let's see, what color would I like? The mask itself is a light pink. And I think I'll use my current jam. That's like a maroon color. Yeah, I'm gonna use my current jam, which is like the maroon kind of color. And I'm gonna use my little squeegee that I took a mini and cut it in half. So I'm gonna use this half to do it because it's nice and small. All right. And I don't really need to stir the inks up. And this is so small, it's not going to take much ink at all. And I just did what I said not to do, which was to go both directions. I put it on up and down, and then I scraped it off the side, which I shouldn't have scraped it off that way. Okay, so I'm going to lift this one up. This mask is almost like a 2-ply one. Do you know how like a sweatshirt feels where you've got like 2 layers? That's definitely what this one is. Let me pop that in there as well. So now I'm just going to try to get this little coffee cup on here. It's just a cute little design. And so I'm going to kind of set this here because I don't want this to pick up the ink that I just put down, that being that the ink's going to be wet for a while. Just so I can do this little coffee mug up here. So I'm going to put this in the other corner. And then just because the letters are so close, I'm going to take a little wasabi tape and put it over the other letters just in case I go over the letters. It's not going to go onto the mask, it's just going to go onto the tape, because it'll block it from going through the transfer. Oops. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back in and grab some little, just all I need is a little bit for it. So. All right. Actually, I can just go like this. Aw, nice. And just pull the tape off afterwards and throw it away. We got a little garbage pail down here. And just filling these all up in my water basin over here. All right, so let me pull this up so you can see what it looks like. All right, so, no, can you see it okay? Got the little, cute little like coffee cup up here, and the little just kidding, I have no idea down here. I don't know. Let's see, put it on. Let's see. There's a little delay on mine, but we'll see what it looks okay. My little coffee cup, a little lettering. So, oh well, it's backwards. Coffee cup's up here. Lettering's down here. Alright. So, there's another one done. So if anybody wants a mask with one of the sayings that I have on it, let me know. Easy peasy. Set it to the side to dry. And then I'm going to put the cover back on my Cricut mat. Now, when I did that mask, it didn't go through. It didn't go through to the back side of the mask because it's really, it's like almost, it's like a double layer basically. So it didn't go all the way through. And it didn't go onto the board obviously because it didn't go all the way through. So this is just going to keep this being sticky again, similar to what goes in the back of the transfers. So it keeps its grip. And I pulled out a couple of my little transfers because, I don't know, once you, like if you do any of this chalking or inking stuff, it's going to get to eventually where you're going to be walking like around your house or in stores or just anywhere and be like, I could chalk that. I could ink that. So when you're at stores, you tend to see all little things. So I did get some little, these are like little felt coasters. I'm going to do one of little felt coasters. And then I also got coasters that are more of the rubber. So I'm going to try each one to see which I like better. Just to kind of see how they are. Like the felt coasters usually, you know, when you use them, they will soak up, you know, waters from your drink and stuff better. It's got sticky at the bottom so it doesn't, you know, slide around on the table. This one doesn't slide around either, but it's more rubber and it's got the little lip. So if your glass or whatever you're drinking does sweat like it does in the summertime, it'll pick it up and catch it. But I wanted to see how it was going to take to the felt and how it was going to take to this. So let me go ahead and close up my current jam ink. Now for the coasters, I was going to use ink. Just to see how it goes with ink on it. Chalk paste, of course, because I'm going to be putting drinks on them and it's going to be getting wet. The chalk paste eventually is going to, like when you let water sit on it, it'll start to loosen the chalk paste up. If you wipe it off soon, like if I sprayed that with water and just wiped it real quick, it would be fine. But if I sprayed it with water and left it on like 10-15 seconds or so or longer, I'm going to be able, when I go to wipe it off, it's going to start to pick up some of the chalk paste. Even if you do it lightly, it'll start to pick it up. So I was going to do, I've got this one, which is the Live Today in all caps. One of the little minis that come in a set of 12 different variety one. But I love this one. It's got the nice, cool block letters. I'm just going to do that one on the felt. Because it's felt, I'm not fuzzing it. I don't know if I need to fuzz it for the rubber one or not. Just think about that. Okay, and I want it to be nice and bright. And I love my papaya, so got my papaya, and yeah, I'll go with my papaya. So the papaya is an off color of orange. And I'll grab my squeegee. If you're ever with the minis, if you're afraid of doing the of going over the edge of the transfer, which I have done, you can put more. You can put like that tape that I have on it, or painter's tape, around the edge, and then that just gives you a little extra protection. So if you do happen to go over the edge, you're just going to go onto the painter's tape, and then you'll throw the painter's tape away afterwards. So if you've ever painted anything and are familiar with painter's tape, it's not really expensive or anything. Masking tape will do a similar job. You just don't want like the clear plastic masking tape that you use for like wrapping gifts and stuff. That you don't want to cover on your mesh screen. Oh, nice. Okay. So there's my little felt coaster. It's got the harder, well, like a little, kind of like a sticky bottom so it doesn't slide all over the place. And it's block lettering, so it's designed to look like that. I like it. Let it out, okay, to dry. Now with this one, oh, the snow plow's out. I did see it snowing. Here we go. I'm going to do the Best Family Ever one. This is one of the ribbon ones where it's got like #1 dad, #1 mom, congratulations, great job. And I'm not going to fuzz it. It doesn't feel like super sticky or anything. And I'm just going to set it on. But I am going to use a little stir stick to make sure I can get a grip on it, to get it off there afterwards. I have no idea. I have not tried to do ink or chalk paste on anything that's like rubber kind of material. So let's see how this goes. The nice thing about the minis is I'm already done with it. Super small, quick. When you get the minis, like I sell them in kits where it's just, you can just buy like the individual ones that you want based on whatever I have available. But you can also buy the sets where it's like a set of 12. And it comes in the B size 8x10, and you just cut the 12 out of it. They have different themed ones, like there's a Valentine's Day one, there's a farm, like a farmer's market kind of one with all different farm to table themes. This one I like even better. I think because this one, I think the ink paste kind of seeped into the felt a little more. So I might want to, once this dries, I might want to put the transfer back down and go over it again to see if it becomes more of a brighter orange. But you can see the difference where this one is definitely, I mean, you can really see the color of the ink, of the papaya ink on this one, where this one is kind of like soaked into the coaster. But I will do it again once it dries, because ink takes longer to dry than paste. Paste would have already be dry by now. All right. So I've done a shirt, a mask, 2 coasters, and a sign. 35 minutes. Not bad at all. Honestly, I could just play for hours. But I wouldn't have projects for tomorrow. All right, put my ink up here. Put these away. And honestly, I might as well do... So tomorrow I'm oh no, I almost forgot. I almost forgot. Okay. What did I almost forget, everybody? To finish my lampshade. I knew I had one more thing that I was saving for the end. Okay. I'm just gonna grab it. It's over here to the side. All right. So this is my transfer from last time. You see the ink from last time did stain it. It is not hurting the transfer at all. All the mesh screen area is clear. That's the important part. Oops. I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to end up touching them. Now I'm just going to move my chair and stuff out the way. And this time I'm going to try to finish the lampshade while it's standing up. I'm going to turn it off. Move it up here. So I've got like the first half of it, but I wanted that to dry, and I love how it looks lit up. Now I'm going to try to do the back side of it. And then I just got to figure, I kind of want the entire Eiffel Tower to appear, so I'm going to have to get it right onto the edge. All right. Now when you're doing something like a lampshade, a little more difficult because you got to kind of balance everything out. So can you guys see it? All right, I'm going to move the camera up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Because it doesn't look like you can see the top of the lamp from there. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah. I'm going to start over here on this edge where I can make sure I've got the Eiffel Tower on there. And some of the design from this time is going to overlap a little. Not a huge deal because it's got all different designs mixed all in it under the one theme. So that'll be fine. What am I going to need to take the lampshade off is the question. I think I'm going to need to take the lampshade off. Oh, darn. So I did that for nothing. Okay. But I can leave the light on at least. All right. So I'm going to grab my towel because last time I figured out that I probably should have the towel down. It'll keep it from rolling around. All right. Hopefully you can see now that I've got it wrapped around. I want this new design right up next to the old one. So, because this is not, I mean, lampshades aren't usually super thick and stuff, so. So I can see things like Napoleon, Paris, got the bird. Oops, kind of fell over on itself. Come back up. Okay, oh, I gotta reach in and grab my large squeegee. I threw in here. I have my paste on it. I'm just gonna clean it off. The squeegees, normally you just clean them off, and I usually just use my hands under running water. But if you ever notice that they start to look stained a little, if you use one of the like Clorox wipes on them, it takes it right off. It takes it right off. So I've noticed a couple of mine, I'm like, that's weird, they look a little stained. And I did Clorox wipe on them, look brand new. Okay, so my black ink, let me grab that. So this will be the last thing I do. And hopefully this time I can get it to the bathroom without it ended up in a big, huge ball. That was not fun. Basically, to dry this, I just took this towel, laid it out halfway on the bathroom floor, put this upside down on it, and closed the door so the cats couldn't get in there to play with it. All right. Oops. And I'm just being pretty generous with the ink. It'll be a miracle if I don't get it all over me. And hopefully it turns out as good as the other side of the lamp did. I love that. I figured it'd look good, I just didn't figure it was going to look that good. And I have a little lamp. It's like a little bedside mini kind of lamp. But I haven't decided what I want to put on that lampshade. That lampshade's blue. Oh, of course, there goes my finger in the ink. I'm just trying to go straight up and down. And being nice and generous with the ink. Hopefully you can see it okay. I know last time you couldn't see what I was doing as well, but and I'm pretty much, as soon as I'm putting it down, I'm scraping it off and then using the excess on the next section that I put the ink down on. And I am getting the entire bottom of the transfer on. Sweet. I wasn't sure if it was going to fit all the way across. I didn't want it to overlap too much, but it doesn't look like it is. Oops. Just make sure I don't touch that side of the towel. Sure I got all the area, and I did. So I'm gonna lift my transfer off. Ooh, try to make sure my fingers are clean because they are not clean. But all the ink that I have, because it's still kind of wet, is coming right off my hands. Make sure they're clean before I pull it off. I don't want to get any ink anywhere else. Okay. All right, here we go. Up this side first. her just the ink part until I get to the bathroom. So this time, so this is where I started it, was right here. I don't know if you can tell that, see what's wet, well what's sparkly is wet. So I started with the Eiffel Tower, goes all the way around, it's got Paris, Napoleon, some more of the birdies, and it gets back to the Eiffel Tower. So it's just a little bit lower so that you can get the whole bottom part of it. Not bad. All right, I'm gonna pop this back on my lamp carefully without sticking my finger in the ink. I hope. So. So if you have a lampshade you want me to dress up, let me know. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Awesome. Okay. That's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to go and get these. Actually, I think I'm going to try to dry this one on this towel. Let me throw this in here. I'll show you how to wash the ink. Hopefully it works. If not, I'll shut off the live and go to the bathroom and do it. But since I didn't get the entire, since I only got the bottom of the transfer inky, hopefully this will work. All right, stick it on there. Now it did get on here, but I'm just going to Clorox this off because it's the shiny side, so it should wipe right off nicely. What did you want my paper towel? So, all nice and clean. Just going to toss it to the side. I don't want to get on any on that inky shirt that I have here. Alright. So being that it's ink, I think I'm going to first just try to wipe some off with a Clorox wipe. See how that goes. Because the ink stays wetter longer, the sooner you take it off, the better. And obviously me spraying it down is just helping it stay wetter a little bit longer. I don't know how that little part got up there, but that comes right off. All right. Just trying to get the bulk of the ink off at first. Super inky. Now I'm going to get out my little sponges, soak them in the water, and just go over it. Now this is going to go through any black that goes to the mesh screen to the towel. This is an old towel. I'm not worried about it. It will stain the towel, obviously, because it's ink. I'm not too worried about it, though. That's why I use this towel, because it's an old one. And I have this middle part of the transfer was already black. I should have used a Clorox wipe on it. That would have helped a lot last night, or the other night. But I didn't think about it until afterwards. Because I was fighting with it because it was in a ball. Spray a little bit more on here. So you can see that because I got this off quicker, the bottom part, because I used this whole bottom part, isn't as stained as the middle part that I used the other night because I didn't wash it right away. Idiot, get on my towel. So, they get on my towel. It's going to stain the towel. I don't care. If you do care, obviously you we're going to want to put down something in between. I'm just moving the towel over a little just so I can make sure I can get the back side of it. And I'll use my Clorox wipe just to make sure it's clean before I put it to the side to dry. You really just want to make sure that you're getting the mesh screen area nice and clean. So I'm just going over it with my Clorox wipe, making sure, especially any areas where I see black, that I'm getting the black off so that the mesh area is clear. If you don't clear the mesh area, the silkscreen mesh area, the next time you go to use it, it's going to be really difficult. It's probably not going to give you a clear transfer because some of the ink may still be in there. And once the ink dries, it is permanent. Whereas the chalk paste is, you can really work the chalk paste. So if that dries in there, I mean, soak it in water and you're going to end up getting it up. You just have to get it moist again. All nice and clean on both sides. And I'm just going to pop it over here to dry. All right. So I'm just going to hang out. I'm just going to clean off these other transfers while I'm still on my live. If anybody has any questions or pops back on, I'll still be here. And then I'll shut my live down. I just want to get the ink ones clean. And just in case somebody pops back on, I'll just stay on when I do it. As you can see, the Live Today in all caps is pretty much already clear. I had the papaya ink on it. Wipe it out. So the nice thing about a water basin, if you're doing multiple ones, is you can set it in there and it's going to start to, you know, dissolve the stuff off it. Usually when I have ink on something and I put it in the water basin, you can immediately see it coming off. That doesn't come off that quick and easily for the chalk paste, but it does for the ink. Little ones I hold up just to make sure I can see through the mesh screen because they're so tiny. Just kidding, I have no idea. My water in my water basin is getting pretty dark. It's like a dark gray right now with all the different colors that I've had in there tonight, especially all the black. So you can just spray it, wipe it down. Same effect. And remember, if you're using Clorox wipes in the back and stuff, if you do it over the Clorox wipe afterwards, the alcohol that's in the Clorox wipes actually helps speed up the drying process. So it'll dry quicker. Always set them out to dry with the sticky side up. This transfer, I only use the coffee cup one area. You do want to make sure you do the back side, because when you just washed it on the front side, you actually push stuff through the silk screen to the back side. And all nice and clear. Oh, let's see. What else do I have in my bin? Oh, there we go. Got the Best Family Ever one. As you can see, the little transfers, super easy to clean. Especially if they've been sitting in, I mean, they've been sitting in water for half an hour. So a lot of the stuff that's on them has kind of dissolved by now. I think I got So the wife mom boss is the one that had the white ink on it. It's been sitting submerged in water, so let's see how it cleans up. Didn't have a ton of white left on it, just a little bit. Just gonna flip it over to do this side. Let that down like a little bit. The squeaky noise is good. It's squeaking because it's sticky. And that's what you want to hear. Alright, let's see. Making sure no ink is stuck in there and it looks good. It's gonna have a place to dry it. Oops. I think the only one I have left is my big transfer, which is the big C-size one I started with. My water's so dark though I can't tell if there's anything else in there. I think I got everything now. So this is when I use the black paste on. The shimmer. So shimmer, of course, glitter everywhere. I can just see the glitter. So I'm just going to start on one side. Now you can see this part here has a lot of black on it. That was actually hanging over the edge. So it wasn't really submerged, this one little part here. But it should still come pretty clean. It just might leave a little staining, being that it wasn't in the water. As you can see, I'm just pushing the glitter all around on this thing. I'm going to actually switch to a Clorox wipe because it's such a big one and it's got glitter everywhere. I'm going to see if using a Clorox wipe helps pick up some of that glitter a little bit more. Should, ideally. I really want to make sure I get my letters nice and clean. Because I am going to want to reuse this one over and over and over again. I know I will. I've got most of the black off. A little on this side and a little on this side. Which if it stains it, it's not a huge deal. It's on the teal part. As long as the letters are clear, it's not going to hurt the transfer at all. So I'm not sure if you can see it that well. It's pretty clean. There's hardly any black on it. I still do have to do the other side, but I'm not sure if you can see my towel where it says "Welcome to our porch" on it. And that's just what happens with them. I'm going to take the Clorox wipe to clean up the backside. This is paste, so that "Welcome to the porch" is going to wash out the towel. It's just where I had the ink from the other one. It's not going to come out. But I mean, a towel is something that you can ink as well. Really anything. I mean, it worked pretty well. I'll have to see if the rubber coaster that I have there, I'll put a wet drink on it and just see how it does. It's not like, that's not like something you can heat set. I wouldn't even know how to begin to even think about heat setting that. All right. So this one, I'm going to hold it up just to double check the letters. Make sure that they are free of any paste. Sometimes it's the little nooks and crannies at the end of the letters, but this one is clear. So I'm just going to leave it out here to dry. Throw my wipes away. And sign off for the night. if anybody liked anything I did or want to see more of something specific, let me know. I posted a picture earlier of the kit. That is actually the kit that I give to club members. So it has everything in it that you need to get started. The club members is the $20 a month, basically monthly subscription box that you get. It just doesn't come in a box, it comes in an envelope. With the B-size transfer, exclusive one, and 3 chalk paste packets. But I give everybody a kit so that you have everything you need to start out with. All right, let me know if you have questions. Comment VIP if you want access to that private group. Like the video, share the video, and comment that you shared it to get entered in my weekly drawing. And if you can catch me on a live to do the sharing and commenting, the first person who can catch me, no one's caught me yet, automatically gets the free gift. Okay? All right. Night, everybody. Have a great Friday and a great weekend. And hopefully I don't see the snowplow go by anymore. Night.